So I have a very interesting product today that I want to share with you guys that I think every videographer or photographer should have. It's cheap enough to just keep in your camera bag, and so far for me, it's been pretty darn cool. I'm using it in almost all my videos. This is a photographer or videographer flashlight, but it's so much more than that. Let's dive in. Okay, so this thing is made by PHOTOOLEX, never heard of them, but let me explain why I chose this off-brand version. So, SmallRig makes almost the exact same camera flashlight, photographer flashlight. And this one's almost a carbon copy, but it came with a little bit more, right? That was included at a cheaper price. And based on what I'm seeing, it's identical. So whoever makes it for SmallRig probably makes it for this company, and you're getting the exact same thing with more stuff included. So let's talk about what's included. A quick unboxing of this thing, you can see that you get the flashlight itself, right? Which has a projector feature, right? You can actually control the beam of this photographer's flashlight, which is very, very important and useful. You get this nice carrying case, obviously, but inside the carrying case, you also get a diffuser, a little like attachment that you would put on top to diffuse the light if you wanted to. You obviously get the charging cable, and then you're gonna get a bunch of inserts, right? To create different shapes and different effects. You get this little rubber mount where you kind of put the inserts in. And they include quite a bit. I mean, there's like some really, crazy different shapes in here, like hearts and stuff like that, or a bee, or I think there's a spaceship. But there's also some practical stuff like, trying to emulate or replicate like blinds, right? That blinds look where light is creeping or seeping into the image. That's a very popular look right now, and so forth. I mean, these are just little cutouts, nothing crazy. They're plastic, but they work so well. Everything goes right into this little bag. Carry this thing with you or put it in your camera bag or whatever. The flashlight itself is rechargeable. That could be a pro or con depending on, how you feel about that. I think a lot of people these days want the ability to just insert, rechargeable batteries, because if the battery bank does fail, then this thing's a paperweight. You can also power it through like a power bank that takes USB-C. So you can power it with the power bank if you needed to. I found that if you charge it up, I think I've only charged this up twice since I've had it. It lasts for a really, really long time. I haven't had any issues with that. The way you turn it on is kind of unique. You got to press the button and then rotate it. And now it's working. So this is really cool. You can adjust the beam of the light with this little projector mechanism here. The beam doesn't get super precise, right? Or super focused, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it definitely gives this great effect. And then you can turn up the intensity by just moving the little dial. It does not get super bright though. So that's something to consider. It does get super low, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You can get pretty low with this thing, which is pretty nice. And then this one does have different colors. You get regular old white. I forget which Kelvin though. I gotta look that up. I'll put it on the screen. You press it again, you get red, looks like green, and then blue. It's limited. You're gonna have to live with red, green, and blue. But for me, honestly, that's fine. So this thing has been incredibly useful for me for two main reasons. You guys have been noticing that recently I have been having this little splash behind me on the wall that blinds look in blue. It's been this guy here. I've been using it as a scene light, a mood light. I've been adding a little bit more character to my videos, and it's perfect for that. I have taken it on client work where we're doing the same thing. I'm just putting an insert in that I think adds the right effect that I want for the scene. And then we're putting this up against the wall, or we're putting it behind a plant or something like that to light up that area. I found it to be okay. It's not super, super bright. I would probably equate this to like maybe like 15, 20 watts. The small rig projector is what, 30 watts? Oof, and that's really bright compared to this guy. So I think the manual said you really should be around 7 feet away from the source if you're projecting it on the wall or something like that. I found, as far as like being a scene, light where I'm adding a little bit of character splash to the scene, it's been fine. It's actually been really good for that. Also for product photography and video, the beam's not that strong, right? You're not going to get a really narrow beam. Like the small rig gets you what, 15 to 60 degrees, something like that. I don't know exactly what this one is. It doesn't feel like 15 to 60 degrees. It feels more like maybe 30 to 60 degrees, something like that. It's not going to be this really concentrated beam, but for product videos and photography, this is great, right? It actually does a really good job of adding that mood again to the product videos, but also if you wanted to spotlight the products. So very cool. I like that it has some colors. The small rig one doesn't. So when I'm looking for a specific color, like maybe if I want to highlight something blue or give like this like midnight tone to the products or something like that, this is perfect for that. There's a couple of screws, attachment points that you can just, I think they're a quarter 20. You can just, attach it. The way that I use it is I add an attachment and a clamp, like a C-clamp, and then clamp it actually behind me right here on this table that you can't see. It's off screen. And then I just point it to whatever I want, and that's it. It projects it just fine. Really lightweight. It's all made out of aluminum though, so it does have some weight to it, but it feels durable. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic. It is an off-brand, but I got this for $40, which I think is perfect because I think Small Rig sells the equivalent, which doesn't come with the diffuser, for $60, I believe. So this is really good. And then Ulanzi also sells something very similar. Again, you can just search photographer flashlight, and there's going to be a bunch that are going to pop up. The Ulanzi one was cheaper. I think it was like $30 or $25, something like that. But it was a little underpowered based on the reviews, and I don't think it held a good charge. This one says that it can run for 4 hours on a single charge. At full blast, I think you're getting like it's actually going to be 8,400 milliamp hours, which is going to give you a continuous brightness of 240 minutes. So that's really, really good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, as far as the color temperature, I think that's very important. Let me see if I can find the color temperature. It's only going to weigh 480 grams, which is pretty good. Aircraft quality aluminum. I don't see the color temperature. I wish they would give you a spec. So it's a warm light. I'm assuming it's probably like 4,000 degrees Kelvin, maybe 3,800. It does have a runtime of 4 hours. Look, overall, this isn't going to substitute a actual projector light, right? And it's not going to be a substitution for like a key light or even a fill light. This is a handy dandy photographer flashlight to be used to light a scene. That's how I'm using it. I think everyone should buy one. It's under $50. Sometimes on Amazon, there's a coupon where you can get it for $35, which is a steal at that point. I've had it now since October and never had a problem. Charges just fine. Has been acting as it should and has been pretty reliable. And I just kind of keep it in the camera bag, and I found myself taking it out. That's it for me, guys. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I really think this is a great product. And if you found this video informative or entertaining, please consider subscribing and joining our channel memberships. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.